Get well. Welcome, Dr.
Well,
Judy.
thank you.
Thank you, guys. I say the California people are enjoying the California background. That's beautiful.
Yay, thank you.
Oh, God. Yes. Mm-mm-mm.
Okay. So, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Medical Mondays with Dr. O. Tonight, we have Medical Mondays with Dr. O with a difference. We're doing something we've never done before. We're actually going to have live cooking on this forum. And I'm going to give you a background of why this came to being. I am Dr. Toyin Okpesomi, a family practitioner, HIV specialist, and I treat substance use disorder in Maryland. I, enjoy learning and enjoy teaching. And so I get excited every Monday night to do just that. And I welcome you all to this very special episode of Medical Mondays with Dr. O. So, some episodes back, our amazing naturopathic doctor, Papa Doctor
Michael here.
Papa Dr. Michael Oye and Dr. Ajagbe talked about some vegetables that are medicinal, that actually do amazing for our health. And people were asking on the forum how to combine this, how to cook this together. And so we promised to come and to demonstrate how to do that. And to further discuss these vegetables and their medicinal contents. So tonight, we have one of our best pharmacists in the Maryland area, who happens to also be my auntie, Mrs. Fumi. Somebody help me out. If you got my memo. No, it's not you I'm asking now, because I want to see if people read everything I sent. This Medical Mondays is so special that I sent along with the invitation researches on these vegetables, researches that has been done and all of that. And I want to see who have paid attention and actually read them before they got here. Anyways, we have pharmacist Mrs. Susan Antifumi Osifade. She will talk to us about fish. And she will show us the end product of cooked fish. And then our own Dr. Oluwole Ajagbe, who is the lead chef tonight, is going to take over and demonstrate live cooking. So, Auntie, without much ado, I yield the floor to you, ma.
Thank you.
Welcome, ma.
Thank you, Dr. O. We thank everyone for joining us tonight on this very special program. And I would like to say a big thank you to Dr. O and all the learned, world experience, gifted individuals that have been with us all along. I think we are about 3 years old with them coming up every Monday. And all this time we have learned a lot from different people on different fields. But tonight, like Dr. O said, we're doing something special. I know that we all know how to cook fish, so we are not going to demonstrate cooking the fish. I have cooked the fish the way I know how to. So we have the pompano, golden pompano, as well as the red snapper. But the vegetable section, I think Dr. Ajagbe, who is the going into fields that are natural. So he's going to show us how to cook the different types of vegetables. But then talking about the fish, I want to let you know that fish is a very healthy food.
There's comment about the volume, and you're a little bit
especially the omega-3 fatty acids.
There's comment about the volume. The volume. Your volume, and you're a little bit muffled.
Should I
just speak louder?
Speak louder. Okay.
So, and we want you back on camera. We'd like you back on camera.
One moment.
Just one moment.
One moment.
Okay. One moment, everyone, while we're trying to fix the volume issue.
Yeah. So you're back? Yeah, so we have some fatty acids that are regarded as fabulous. And these are the ones that have a lot of the fatty, the omega-3 that are fatty. And some of those examples in fish, the salmon, the herrings, the aquavites, the mackerel, sardines, and the trout. These help to lower the heart diseases like stroke, as well as helps to resolve some issues in Alzheimer, loss of memory. And then we also have 2 or 3 of important omega-3s in this type of fatty fish. And they are of huge benefits to the heart, the lungs, brain, and for blood circulation. High doses slow down the buildup of plaques in arteries and lowers some types of fat in the blood vessels as well. We also have those that are regarded as low-fat fish, for example, the tilapia, the cod, the catfish, and the flounder. Shrimps are also included, but they are low in mercury and calories and are high in cholesterol, proteins, but low in omega-3. It says that, well, it is acceptable that too much of mercury in your system can cause some brain damage and nerve end damage in adults, and can also affect the development of babies and children as well. Hence, we have doctors recommending that pregnant women avoid eating this kind of fish. We are also advised to avoid the big eye tuna or the bluefish, which easily contains a lot of mercury. I gathered that the canned light tuna should be okay. We have some that are called the in-between fish. Those that are not too high in mercury, but that are high in omega-3 as well. These are, the examples are Chilean sea bass, the halibut, the monkfish, and the snapper. I have been told that with wild caught fish and the farm raised, there isn't much difference in them, except that it depends on where the fish are caught or what you feed them with. So if you have wild caught fish, you know, the nutrition that you get from them will depend on what you have exposed those fish to. It says that the red snapper is good for your heart because it has a lot of the omega-3 fatty acids. It also contains some vitamin D and vitamin A. Both the snapper and the pampino contain selenium, and selenium has been known to be good in controlling thyroid problems.
I think the other advantage of the golden pampino, which is one of the fishes that we have prepared for tonight, will be that it can also fight some cancers. And it contains vitamin B12. It is nutritious. It has calcium, vitamin A, and a lot of protein for the body. I think that will be all that I have for tonight, and I'll hand over to Dr. Ajagbe to show us how to cook the vegetables.
Can you show us the fish, please? That's the pampino.
Oh, you want me to show? Okay,
That's what I was trying to communicate.
oh, okay. You want me to show you the fish that was cooked? This is the pampino, just in stew. There are different ways of cooking fish. You can smoke, you can roast, you can bake. So whichever way you choose, just don't overcook. And we have some fresh ones that have not been stewed. What point in something to show? I have it, excuse me. This is the pampino, golden pampino. I think in Nigeria we call it the owere.
Oh.
Yes. And of course the red tilapia, not red tilapia, red snapper. I don't know what is called. Thank you. Those are the fresh ones.
Uncooked.
But when they are cooked, they look different, but then the taste is still the same. You enjoy the taste of the fish. That's all I have for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
They can go in.
That was awesome. And I've had the privilege of tasting that pampino. Tasty. If you like some virtually, you can post in the chat box or raise your hand and we'll figure out how to send them virtually to you. Dr. Ajagbe, over to you, sir, for the cooking and education of the veggies. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's nice to be back, and this time to have a demonstration of how to combine some of these vegetables that we talked about during a few episodes back. We raised some issues about some of the vegetables commonly found in Africa. We don't want to limit it to only Nigeria, but I believe the ones that we're going to demonstrate tonight will not just be in Nigeria, because I think everywhere that is tropical has some of these vegetables. Now, how they are prepared may be different from one group of people to another. However, once we talk about it, I'm sure everybody knows what it is in their own language or in their part of the continent of Africa. Tonight, we're going to use kale as the base vegetable. Kale is commonly found here, and we have a bag of kale. I'm sure you've seen this before. Kale. Now, this is just a brand. This is a giant brand, but you can buy it in larger quantity. But we're going to use, for the sake of demonstration tonight, we want to use the frozen kale because already pre-washed and frozen, fresh, and we believe that it's going to be very quick to also prepare. That will be the base of the vegetables that we are going to cook. And tonight we're going to add some of the African vegetables to it. The first one will be the water leaf. You can see the water leaf. Right now, this is brought from Africa and it's been dried before being brought to the US. So this we're going to use.
We can see you. We can see.
Can you see the vegetable? Can you see the bowl?
No, we can. The video is
No.
not showing.
We
The
can't
video,
see.
the video. There you go.
It's all black, no video.
Really?
Maybe it can pin you. Maybe it can pin your own page.
If you change
So
to
I can see
gallery
mine.
view,
Can you
you
all
will see
please, excuse me, please. Thank you. It's already pinned. And I can see clearly here. I don't know what is going on.
I
Okay,
can
they
see
have to
too.
change to the gallery view, then you can watch it. If you have it on the speaker view, you won't be able to see it. Change it to gallery view and you will see it.
okay. You mean the audience or me?
The audience. I had it on speaker view. I couldn't see it either. If I change it to gallery view, you can see it.
Okay, can you all please change to gallery view? Because the video is actually very sharp.
Yeah, I can see it myself.
You can see it now?
Yes, I can see,
And I'm looking for him. I think I lost. Okay, there we go. I'm going to repin him.
Yeah.
Thank you for that feedback. Please, again, put it on gallery view and give me feedback, please, that you can see.
It's Olubumi, ma. It's Olubumi Ajagbe that you're supposed to pin, ma. Maybe if you see Olubumi on the participants, you just see the three buttons and you click on pin.
My dear, I've already pinned him and I can see the food, water leave, hospital too far. I can see them. They're downstairs, my dear. So I know who I'm pinning.
Okay.
It's already pinned.
Please bear with us. I believe it's just technology. Can you hear me?
Adiola, just a minute, Dr. Ajagbe. Adiola, can you see? Did you put it on gallery view and can you see? Kindly unmute and let me know.
Yes, ma.
Okay, gallery
ma'am.
view.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
getting feedback that everybody seems to be able to see. Is it okay? Can we go on?
Yes.
Can you see? Can we go on?
Yes.
Yes.
Adiola
Okay.
Atekoja.
Please.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we want to say. Because of the way the technology is set up, if anybody is speaking, it will switch to them. So if you are not supposed to be speaking and you are speaking, automatically it will switch to you. That's why you won't see
No,
me.
Dr. Ajagbe, it will not switch. I already pinned you. Don't worry about it. And I got it. I'll mute whoever is.
Okay.
So you are
Okay,
pinned.
thank you.
You will not
Thank you
be
very
switched.
much.
You're welcome, sir.
All right.
Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Okay, so I was pointing to the African sourced vegetable, basically because they are tropical. The very first one is water leaf. And for tonight's purpose, we're going to use 1.5 cups of dried water leaf in our preparation for tonight. This is what it looks like This is what it looks like when it's dried up. Okay. The next one is hospital too far. We've talked so much about hospital too far, that we're going to use the powdered form. We know that when any leaf is dried up and is ground into powder, you don't need a whole lot to use to get the same amount as fresh. So we're going to use this pretty much like seasoning because of its potency. Hospital tufa is a very potent vegetable. It's often referred to as miracle vegetable or Catholic vegetable or chaya or tree spinach. It's very rich in nutrients, and not only in nutrients, it's also medicinal. We're going to talk more about the medicinal part of it towards the time of discussion. The next one is bitter leaf. Almost everybody knows what bitter leaf is. It's very bitter. We have it right here. It's one of the vegetables we are going to compound together to form a very delicious meal. The next one is scent leaf. Scent leaf is a form of basil that is called ifiri in Yoruba. But this one is very good. And everything that we're going to use tonight is basically hypoglycemic. Now we're going to use crushed red pepper for the spice. And then we're going to use complete seasoning to flavor the dish. So what we're going to do also, these are the condiments that we're going to use to make the roux. We have purple onion. We have a chef's selection of mushroom, which is basically gourmet mushroom. We have the sweet onion. We have the red pepper, diced red pepper, and then here we have pretty much like rainbow pepper. We have orange, we have yellow, and we have red. And here we have a little bit of already milled and cooked pepper and onion together. So the first thing we're going to do tonight is I'm going to light up and we're going to put some oil. We're using this high heat cooking oil, which is grapeseed oil. We're going to saute the onions. Thank you. We will saute the onions, and then we'll saute the mushrooms. Thank you. So after this is already glazed, we will add the on medium heat, we will be sauteing the onions. Once the onion becomes caramelized or a little bit translucent, I will add some of the mushrooms. We'll saute them together, and then we'll add some pepper. And then we will add some pepper, and then we'll start adding the vegetables one by one. We will add the dry vegetables first. The very first one to add will be the scent leaf and the bitter leaf because they are tougher. And when they dry up, it takes a little longer for them to get soft. So the kale is what we're going to add last. So for now, we're just going to wait for this to saute. So while we're waiting for this to become sauteed, it won't take a long time once the frying pan is already heated to the right temperature. We will be able to move very quickly and we'll move very fast, okay? So let's talk about what are the contents that we're going to use. One of the things we're going to use some purple onions in addition to the white onions. The white onions is sweeter, and the purple onion is a little bit more pungent, and it also has quercetin, which is a very important antioxidant. The quercetin in the purple onion is higher than the white sweet onion. So just to be able to get the benefit of both onions, we're going to saute them together. And then we will add all the other ingredients one by one. For those who may be wondering what kind of oil we use, or we're using the grapeseed oil. This is 100% grapeseed oil. In so many stores, you might find this mixed with other oils. That if you really want a very good, dependable oil that has a very high flash point and it's very good for high heat cooking, grapeseed oil is very important. It's very good. We also have here, we're going to add maybe 2 tablespoons of, palm oil. This particular brand is Carotino, which is pretty much clear red palm oil. We're going to use 2 teaspoons of that because of the carotene, the retinol, vitamin A that it contains. So we're going to get the benefits of all of these nutrients in one dish. One thing we want to be very careful about is to avoid this, the too potent, properties of all the vegetables to compound themselves and become too strong in one meal. Now, since we talked about the vegetables, many of the, at least 3 of them are hypoglycemics. You don't want to eat too much of them with your meal. Otherwise, you'll be like, soon after you finish eating, your blood sugar is still very low. So we don't want that to be the situation. So we will talk more about the medicinal benefits of the different vegetables after we've gone far enough into the cooking. The saute is underway and it's going very well. The onion is becoming translucent. Once it becomes translucent, I'm going to add some seasoning to it and let it absorb the flavor. We're going to start with the complete seasoning. Yeah, we're ready to add the complete seasoning. This is about half cup of complete seasoning. Thank you. Now, like I said earlier, we're not presuming on teaching you how to cook, but we just want to let you know that there are many ways to make things delicious. The goal of tonight is to have food prepared or vegetable prepared to be delicious, colorful, as well as healthy. We're going to enjoy the benefits of everything that we are talking about in this dish. Now, while this vegetable is getting ready, we already have quinoa already steaming. Right here, we have quinoa almost ready. Actually, minutes to be ready. Can you see quinoa? We're using the rice cooker to cook, to boil the quinoa. And once the alarm goes off, it will stay warm while we continue with the cooking of the vegetable. Now, the onions are in good shape right now. We're going to add the crushed red pepper to it. Thank you. That's about 1/4 cup of red pepper, crushed red pepper. So I'm going to put a few onions here. I want you to taste it and tell me how it does taste. How's the flavor? Okay. All right. The onion is ready. I'm going to add the mushroom. This is so beautiful. It's already inviting. Thank you very much. Like, we should be ready to start eating. Now, I'm going to use about 2.5 cups of mushroom already cut. We have 4 different kinds of mushrooms in this. Thank you. So because of the nature of the mushroom will release some moisture into this sauteing. Then we are still sauteing everything together. Because in the end, what we want to be able to accomplish is to get a very delicious eforiro. Not too much water, and we're still going to add a little bit of water for it to simmer together. But the vegetables will release the kale, the mushroom, together will release a lot of moisture into the cooking. And that is what we're going to use to simmer the vegetable together. So this is a new twist to eforiro, right? For some people will be like, what kind of eforiro is this one? All right, I'm going to put some diced pepper, bell pepper. This is basically rainbow pepper. You have yellow, orange, and red. We're going to add some deep red pepper to it as well. So all these are sauteed together. So we may need to change the cooking utensil to that other one. Yeah, can you help me get it ready, Peppy, man? All right, so you can see how colorful this is turning out to be. This is becoming so, and it smells so good too. In a few minutes, we're going to transfer this. After the pepper is sauteed for some time, we're going to transfer this into a bigger pot in order for us to be able to accommodate the vegetables that we're going to add. So for now, we're going to be adding some of these dried vegetables and utilize. So this is the water leaf that is going first. Even though I said that the other ones are tougher, because we are using more of the water leaf, I want it to go in first to get enough moisture. Can you see the color is coming out with the green, contrasting the red and the yellow and orange? This is looking very good. All right, we're going to use the next one. We're going to add hospital tufa. Now, hospital tufa is very important that we remember to cook it very well when we use it because of the cyanide content. The cyanide content is not a lot, but you need heat for it to be steamed off. So that's why I'm adding it. Number 2, so it would have enough time to cook. Now, remember what we've just used is not the real dried leaf. We're using the powder. So it's basically like seasoning in this particular cooking experiment. We can call it like that, or cooking method. Now it's all coming together. Definitely we will have to change the pot. Now we are adding the bitter leaf. This is about 1/2 cup of bitter leaf, dried. So while we are doing this, the quinoa is already about to pop. It's already warming now. It's going to stay in the warming state until we're ready for it. Wow, this is looking good already. So the next thing is we're going to add the scent leaf. We're going to use about 1/4 cup of scent leaf. The fragrance of the scent leaf is very good. While the other vegetables that we've added don't have really strong smell, the scent leaf does. And we're going to talk about all the benefits that we can get from all these leaves. If you look at your invitation for the Zoom, there was an attachment, a PDF file that actually shows you some of this information that we'll be passing on tonight. But Dr. Mike and I will be able to talk a little bit more from question and answer. If there are people who have questions to further understand what we are doing tonight. All right, we'll leave this to cook for a little bit. We've already added all the vegetables. We've added water leaf. We've added hospital 2 far. We've added the bitter leaf, and then we've added the scent leaf. So now, as this is cooking together, I'm going to transfer this into the bigger pot. Okay. Yay, looking good already. Woohoo! Wow, this is awesome. Look at that. Amazing. Shush. Good. This is so good. This is looking good. Now we're going to add the kale. Thank you. We should use both. And by the time this is all cooked down, we will taste it for flavor, and then we will add more of the seasoning to it if we need to. But if everything is fine from the amount that we added earlier, that'll be perfect. Can everybody see the color?
Yes, we do. Oh, wow. Wow. It's so colorful.
No, not yet. So we're going to allow everything to simmer together. I said earlier that the kale will release most of the water needed to cook this vegetable completely. But in order for it to be able to cook together for a little longer, we might need to add some water. Just enough for it to be able to simmer and boil together. And we're going to do this for about 10 minutes. And once we can do this for 10 minutes, can cook together for 10 minutes, we'll be done. We just taste it and add more seasoning if we need to. For now, because of the frozen vegetable, we gotta leave it on high heat for now. Once it starts bubbling together, the heat will be turned down to medium. And then we'll simmer for about 10 minutes and that'll be it. Can you see the color?
Oh, yes. Did you add water already? No.
Nope, no water yet.
Okay. I thought so. I'm watching and I'm wondering, did I miss it? Because I know you were going to add water.
So what I'm going to do now is just cover it for a few minutes and see how it simmers. And if it doesn't look like they're cooking together, then I'll add some water to it for it to cook together. And that way we will have it ready to taste. I have some tasters who will be able to give me All the standby tasters are here.
We're missing one taster. We
Our
didn't
taster
we
just
didn't see her on
disappeared.
camera. She disappeared.
She disappeared. Ah, yes. Okay, I'm going to add like about 2 tablespoons of palm oil to this. Because we don't want, for those who don't want to eat a lot of palm oil, it's very good and it is very healthy. And we're going to, yeah. So we can hear the sound like it's trying to fry. So this is the time I'm going to add a little bit of water so the vegetables can cook together. Because of the dried ones, I need them to become soft enough. So I'm going to add a little bit, maybe half a cup of water.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Just have a cup right in the center where the flame is, and that way I'll cover it to steam. And once it steams and the water is drying, we will taste it. If we need to add more seasoning to it, we then add some seasoning to it.
So, Dr.
Thank you very much for your, yes.
Dr. Ajagbe, we have our
Yes.
youngest participant, our youngest Medical Mondays family participant, Kiani, watching. She wants me to let you know that she's watching, and she's excited. I have a question also, that where can one purchase these vegetables?
Well, thank you very much for the question. I can tell you that there are many places in your neighborhood or locale, wherever you are in the United States, to get this. Many of the stores will be either Afro, Caribbean, or Hispanic stores. Some Asian stores are carrying some of the African products as well. But if you can find any African store near to where you're living, I can assure you you'll be able to find many of these different brands are available for the dried vegetables. One thing I will always warn everybody who wants to buy from the store is about the sandiness. Some of these products may be very sandy, so you have to bear it in mind when you buy. Don't just cook it directly. Try and see if you can put it in some container with water, skim them off the top and see if there is sand at the bottom. Because if you don't, the food will not be very delicious, no matter how much you spend on that particular meal. So that would be my recommendation for that. The water is already cooking with the vegetable, and I am going to leave it to simmer for about 10 minutes, and then we should be done by that time.
I have another question. What kind of mushrooms are you using? Is it dry mushroom directly from the bag?
The mushrooms, okay, let's go to the mushrooms. The mushrooms are actually fresh mushrooms. There are 5 different mushrooms in this container. I don't have my gloves on, but I can show you. This is one type of mushroom that is different. This is one type. This one looks pretty much like leaves. And then these chunky ones are the baby bella. That one is very common. There is another bigger mushroom that I chopped up. Okay, this is the stalk of one of the mushroom, which is really big. Okay, so there are 4 of them here, but they are all fresh. They are not frozen. They are not dry. These are fresh mushrooms, and that is why when I added it to the sauteing, it released some moisture, and the moisture was very important with the dry vegetables that we use.
So when we did the health matters sessions with Dr. Sandhu, I remembered that because it was plant-based diet, mushroom was one of the staples that we added to food to replace beef and fish, chicken, and all of that. I was shocked that when you cook mushroom in this fashion or in sauce, it tastes just like meat.
Absolutely, because many of these mushrooms are pretty fleshy. They are chewy. They don't just disappear in the mouth. You actually can chew them, and they feel like you are chewing animal protein, whether it is some kind of fish or meat. But definitely, they have their own flavor. In most cases, when you check the package or the packaging of the mushroom, you will find that it doesn't have a lot of nutrients. That's very strange, right? It doesn't have a lot of carbohydrates or protein or that, but it has a lot of fiber. Now, there are some chemicals that are present in mushrooms that are beneficial to human health. And so we're going to talk about that. So right now, the vegetable is about ready. I believe we're going to add a little bit of a seasoning to it. I like my tasters to come to do a little bit of tasting and tell me when we should, how much of the seasoning we can add to it. Do you want me to put it in? Oh, yeah, yes. Got to. All right, let me just. She's on duty. duty calls for now. All right, so I'm going to put a little bit of mushroom, a little bit of. This is yours, right? All right. Those who are jealous, sorry, you can't pass it down the camera.
We have to figure out how to do that virtually. Oh, looks so good. Oh my gosh. That looks so good. How does it taste?
So it's just a taste to show whether we need to add a little bit more seasoning to it. Because, yeah, the bitter leaf will come out in this, but it will never be imposing. When you taste it, you can feel the tinge of the bitter leaf, but it will not come out as being very bitter. So that's the good thing about.
Dr. Ajagbe.
So I'm going to
Dr. Ajagbe.
Yes.
Yes.
Question in the chat box. How did you know we are jealous? Brother
No, I said those who might be.
Those who might be jealous that they are not able to taste it. Now, let me say something about the bitter leaf. The bitter leaf is a very unique vegetable when you cook it together with other vegetables. It's very exciting. You will feel the taste of bitterness, but it will never be overbearing. So I can tell you now, the little bitter leaf that we added to this actually became very detectable by the tasters. But the best part of this cooking is that tomorrow will be the best time to enjoy this vegetable, not today. Everything will come together when you leave it overnight and eat it second day after cooking. So the vegetable is ready right now. If I
Dr.
turn off the
Ajagbe,
heat,
Dr. Ajagbe, question. Does it taste a bit sour? I know you answered it, but directly, does it taste a bit sour?
No, it doesn't.
No,
It doesn't.
Okay.
okay.
It's not sour.
It's not sour.
You get the aftertaste of the wood.
Sister Lola, what do you say? Auntie Fumi says it's not sour. Sister Lola?
It's sour, but however, it's bitter to me, a little bit bitter. Yeah, I taste the bitterness.
Yes.
But that's right. That's what you want. You want the taste of the wood in it.
Okay. So
Let's resolve this matter. All right. Okay. And then the onions are still crunchy. Yes.
Red pepper is still
okay.
crunchy.
So this is
This is what I want us to understand. The bitter leaf can never be masked. Bitter leaf is bitter leaf. If it's there, it's there. It cannot be hidden. However, you can overcome it by the compounding flavors that you have. The way the onion was sauteed, the way it was sauteed with the seasoning will make for the vegetable not to be bitter by itself. But if you leave it overnight, you will not, I can assure you, if you tasted this tomorrow, there will be no bitter taste at all. Because everything will be absorbed into the cold pot, and then you will taste it and you won't even remember that you had bitter leaf you added it to this the cooked vegetable.
Dr. Ajagbe, can the pepper or mushrooms be chopped finer or blended roughly for this soup? So that it doesn't have, the question is, can the pepper or mushrooms be chopped finer or blended roughly for the soup?
Okay, yes. The answer is you could do anything you want. As long as you know this is what you want. What we have demonstrated is not how to cook it. It is just to show that this can be prepared in a way, not only will it be delicious, it will be beautiful as well as being very healthy. So we're combining all this together in order for us to be able to get the benefits. So the vegetable is ready. Let's vote. Do we need to add any more seasoning to this?
Unanimously, no need for more seasoning. So the
vegetable is done. For some reason, we don't want it to be too dry. And you can hardly see oil in this because what we've used is less than 4 tablespoons of oil to cook the whole pot. You can see it. For those who might say, oh, I don't like too much oil, you can see there is no oil at all visible in this cooking. But you can see all the vegetables. The dry ones are already absorbed, they've already absorbed moisture, and you can see them as tiny spots of dry leaves in the pot. So this is good. So I'm going to cover it.
Dr. Ajagbe, Sister Tinuade said we can smell it already.
Sister Tinuade, welcome. Attorney Akinshola, see me, see trouble. You see me doing this? This is so good. But anyways,
rub
it in.
Rub it in.
I'm rubbing it in.
You don't leave foul, you can still drive over.
Well, anyway, so let's go over.
Dr. Ajagbe, question. Are all the mushrooms edible? Yes. Are some not poisonous? How can we preserve them? How much do they last when cooked? So we have 4 questions here. Are all the mushrooms edible? Are some not poisonous? How can we preserve them? How much do they last when cooked?
Okay. All right, let me answer those questions very quickly. Yes, there are poisonous mushrooms. However, when you go to a grocery store, they will never sell the poisonous mushroom for liability purpose. There is no sense in selling something that is poisonous to your customers. That's number one. So if you go to a reputable grocery store, I bought mine from Costco. So if you have a Costco membership, you can buy your mushroom from Costco. They have the chef's, sampler. Those are the ones that are very exotic looking. But the baby Bella is found everywhere. You can find it even in some convenience stores. So they are all edible as long as you find them on the shelf in a grocery store. If you are a very adventurous person, in which case you love to go and, gather your own mushroom, you want to go on a walk, and as you're walking by the trail, you see some mushroom that look very beautiful. If you want to glean by yourself, you might be doing it at your own risk if you don't know what they are. They may look beautiful, but they may be poison in the pot. So bear that in mind. How long do they last? If you have a crisper in your fridge, which is the 2 drawers at the bottom of your fridge, if you have the regular upright refrigerator, you can keep it in those plastic drawers. It will stay longer. Any vegetable put in that crisper will stay longer. If the temperature setting in your fridge is not appropriate for many of these things, the food will get bad very soon. So if you preserve them quickly, you can keep them for at least 3-4 weeks. That's my experience. Now, but if you don't keep them properly, well, they can get bad like any other thing, any other food in the refrigerator. Now, if you really want to keep it for a longer time, you can dice them up. Can we show this again? You can see the way they are cut up. They are not very small, but you can always make it smaller. I will put this in a freezer bag and put it in a freezer. If you already cut up and clean your mushrooms, you can bag them up and put them in a freezer, and they will stay there until you want to use. If you are going to do that, my advice to you will be bag them as one single use. So you don't bring them out, thaw, and put back in the freezer. No. Once you take it out, you must use everything you take out at a time. That's the only way you can get the benefit from the mushroom. Because if you keep bringing it out and thawing and putting it back in the freezer, at some point it's going to become very deteriorated. So you need to bear it in mind. I hope that answers the question of the mushroom.
Yeah. So, Dr. Ajagbe, you cook this vegetable with mushroom. If somebody wants to cook it with meat, or use meat or fish, can they do that? Lamb, maybe, instead of mushrooms?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You can choose to do anything with this particular recipe. You can modify it any way you want to your own taste. To even push the outside of the envelope a little further, you can cut okra into this. You can actually cut fresh okra in big chunks and add to these vegetables and let them simmer together. The good thing about that is the okra will still be crunchy, but it will still be steamed. And it will not be as stringy and drawy as it will be if you blended it. So you can do that. So that's like pushing the envelope pushing the outside of the envelope a little further. So you can do that with this type of cookie.
Damien in London says it looks quite palatable. Healthy use of vegetables. So Auntie Tower asks, if you eat this type of veggies with atama that has cyanide with eba that has cyanide too, can we be poisoned? I love my Auntie Tower. Yes. Excellent
All
question.
right, so who did hospital too far, as well as bitter leaf, is that the amount of cyanogenic glyphosate, which is a big word to mean that there's a compound present in those two leaves that actually has the potential of releasing cyanide. The content is very low. However, it is best to make a disclaimer before anybody goes and starts eating them raw. So if you eat eba in itself does not contain cyanide, as though when you get the gari and you make eba, now you are eating cyanide. No, it's only when it's being broken down with humidity. So let's say you have gari that is no longer dry, it's humid in a dark corner. When the gari is breaking down, out of the things that it will release is the disintegration of the glyphosate. The glyphosate is what releases the cyanide. And so that's why gari can become very poisonous if you ate the one that is already going bad. For those who are very shrewd, they don't want to waste their money. Well, if you see your gari, if you brought it from Africa, or you bought it from any African store, and you look at it and it's already having some blue color, no matter how small the blue color is, it's already cyanide. That's what you are seeing. But if it is dry, until you use it, you will never see any blue color. If you make it into a bar, it will not change into cyanide. So the only time this combination will be very poisonous and dangerous for anybody is when the gari is going bad, and you now eat it with raw or very well, what you can call poorly cooked HTF, which is hospital too far. If you don't cook it very well, you say, they say don't cook vegetable for too long, go. So just cook it very little. If the cyanide is not evaporated at 37 degrees centigrade, the cyanide will still be present in the leaf, and that can become very dangerous. Cumulatively, it's not the first time you eat it that the cyanide will kill somebody. It's just a cumulative effect. So a disclaimer is eating this type of vegetable with a bar is not going to endanger anybody's life because there is hospital too far there. I hope that answers the question.
Thank you. I see here somebody is saying there's powdered dried shiitake. You know, it's a kind of mushroom that is really chewy. I think it defeats the purpose, you know, because it's great to be able to chew it. When you cook it, you know, like that, it tastes like meat when it's not the powdered form. So Sister Simi was asking, why no protein? I think that question has been answered, right, Dr. Ajagbe?
Well, I didn't say anything about the powdering of mushroom. Let me talk about that. I think anybody who doesn't want to chew anything like mushroom can blend it. You can blend it with your pepper. For instance, let's say you just want to have the benefit of the mushroom. Add it to your pepper while you are blending it. You won't even see. The pepper and the tomato and the onions will be ground together with the mushroom, and that will be perfect. For anyone who doesn't want to chew on the mushroom, there are some places, I mean, you can find the dried mushroom. I think Costco sells it once in a while. It comes in a big bottle, plastic bottle. Well, it's usually, no, it's a clear clear plastic bottle,
which is about this stuff. My experience with that, because I took it to Africa, because when I traveled, I tried to carry my food with me. So I took a bottle with me to Nigeria. By the time I got there, it was okay. Nothing was wrong with this thing, but it was so sandy. I could not get over that. I mean, like sand. I mean, I didn't understand how they prepared it that it could be so sandy. And they said they washed it, they dried it, everything is ready to eat. But that was my experience. So from that point on, I don't buy it anymore. I just buy fresh. The fresh ones are good. You can still see the way they look. They're not going to change color until you leave them to rot. If you leave them to rot, of course, they will change color. But if you preserve them and you use them while they are still good, I like them.
So, Dr. Ajagbe, two questions here that I'm going to combine into one. Why no protein? And the other question is this supposed to be a vegan dish?
A vegan dish.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for those who do not want anything animal in their food, anything, whether flavor or content, yes, this will qualify for that, because there is nothing animal of animal source in this particular production. Now, for those who like dried fish or stockfish or oxtail or cow feet or chicken feet or chicken neck, or all these people, everybody can add anything they want to add to it. In fact, the golden pompano that was demonstrated can be added to it. If you want, you can take the bone out and just, and just put it in your sauce. But the thing is, it's going to be totally mixed up with your vegetable. You won't be able to pick it if you like to chew on the fish. For those who like the smoked fish, you can do that also. You can get the bones out and then add it to your sauteing before you add the vegetables to it.
Thank you. So, Dr. Ogunleye from California gave us more insight into that cyanide question. She says, cyanide is pressed out of gari and starch before further processing, before even frying or roasting. So we don't need to worry about cyanide in gari because it is pressed out. So combined with hospital tufa, it is when hospital tufa is not boiled well. It needs to be boiled, it needs to be cooked. That's when you maintain the cyanide. That's why you don't eat hospital tufa, that vegetable, you don't eat it raw. You want to boil it. Whatever you want to put it in, even if you're eating it alone or in combo, boil, boil, boil. So you can boil the cyanide out. So I don't think we need to worry about the cyanides.
Right. We are not putting anybody in harm's way by demonstrating some of these things. What we're trying to say to you is, when you hear about hospital tufa and you love the benefits that it has, and you want to partake of that benefit, you can use it this way that we just demonstrated today. This is not the only way to use it. What we have done today was just to use the powdered form so that you don't need to use a lot. And because it's not fresh, you're not going to get you're going to get a little bit more concentrated amount of whatever content is in the leaf because it's dry. The moisture is gone. So by the time we add it to the cooking pot, the heat that is generated in the pot is enough to steam off any cyanide present in that leaf, the powder that we used. So that's the reason why we demonstrated it the way we did today. Now, let's say you are in the part of the world that has the fresh, and now you just plug the leaves. You plug the leaf, you wash them thoroughly, you chop them up, and you want to use them to make your efforiro, you could do it. But the bottom line is don't pick a bunch of the hospital too far leaves and start chewing it because you say, they said it's good for this, it's good for that. If you do that, you are putting yourself in harm's way because of the potential for cyanide poisoning. But if you can respect it enough by cooking it, even if it's cooked for about 10 minutes, I mean less than 10 minutes, but the temperature is high enough to be above 37 degrees centigrade. 37 degrees centigrade is like lukewarm water. If you want to touch it, you can touch 37 degrees temperature water. Even if you don't boil it to 100 degrees centigrade, you can still get enough of the cyanide out of the leaf. So that's the point I want to make.
Another question. Thank you so much for that. How much of the hospital too-far powder should be used in the recipe? Like the one you just did?
The one we just did, I used 1/4 of a cup. 1/4 cup.
Does the quantity matter, really?
What we use, okay, can you show the pot? Yeah, what you see. So this is the pot of the soup. This is the amount that we use. Double this amount was in this container, and we use half of it for this pot. See how big the pot is.
Yeah.
So you don't need a lot. And like I said before, these vegetables, they are hypoglycemics. They lower people's sugar.
Thank you. They lower people's sugar.
So if you take too much of it, in fact, if you say, I love bitter leaf because it lets me sleep at night, which is good. That is a good benefit, that it can make you go to sleep at night. However, if you eat too much of the bitter leaf at night with some carbohydrate, you may wake up in the middle of the night with a headache because your blood sugar is too low. That's if you like to eat a lot of vegetables because you think it has a lot of fiber, it has a lot of nutrients. All of these vegetables we are talking about, they must be used with caution. They cannot just be, gulped down because they said Inguro is good, bitter leaf is good, you better just eat. No, it doesn't work that way. You have to use it wisely. You want to eat your food as medicine instead of waiting to use medicine as food. So anyway, I hope that answers that question.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So Dr. Ajagbe, if you don't mind, and by the way, if you have any questions, you can raise your hand or put it in the chat box. Now, before I even ask you my next question or, ask you to do something for us, I just want to say thank you very much for doing this. This is awesome. This is amazing. You are amazing. And I want to also especially thank Auntie Fumi, because it was her idea that we do this.
Yes.
She was the brain behind this. She made sure every one of us keeping in touch, letting us know what we need to do and how we should do it and all of that. It was her idea that let's cook this. Let's show people how to do this. And, you might have been seeing 2 red pots sitting somewhere there. I have my own special fish that she has cooked. Hey, did you see it? I'm so excited, So, and Uncle will not know I know this. Look at that. That is my own special. Thank you so much, Ma, for being so kind, so generous that you want all of us to learn how to do this, how to eat healthier. And I also want to thank Uncle Olaolu Osifade, because he's solidly behind Auntie, even packing these things so they won't spill, so she will get them safely here. He was behind that. So thank you very much, sir, for your support. We appreciate you. God bless you. Thank you. And Sister Lola, thank you. Our expert taster. Hey, thank you. So, Dr. Ajagbe,
Yes.
you have 4 vegetables, core vegetables in here.
Mhm.
And you sent us the researched benefits of these vegetables. Can you please quickly go over the benefits of these vegetables and why we're doing this tonight, what they do?
My notes,
Thank you.
real quickly. 1 second. I think
Okay, while you're looking for that,
no, I don't need to do
no,
too
no,
much.
no. While you're looking for that, Dr. Izugu says, is there bitter leaf tea?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And
you could make your own bitter leaf tea if you want. You could get the dried bitter leaf. Don't use too much. Just like we said, if you use too much, it will take your blood sugar south. So it's better for you to make sure that you don't use too much at a time. Now, if you like tea blends, you may not need more than just a pinch of bitter leaf to add to your tea. Because if you use too much, it will take your blood sugar down. It's very, very potent.
And so, while you're getting ready, I just want to show appreciation to our Facebook family. Dr. Daisy Upal, we can't wait to get you on Medical Mondays. She has an amazing private owned radiology facilities, in Clarksville, Columbia, and Ricestown Road. Thank you to Dacham and Queen Adeshewa, all the way from Nigeria, right now on Facebook. Thank you so much for participating. We love you. Thank you. Are you ready, Dr. Ajagbe?
Oh, yes, I'm ready.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. I sent you, I think Dr. O forwarded the PDF file to everybody. So I'm just going to go over what I sent to you. I knowingly just put the ones that actually have scientific backings on the list. So for the water leaf, the nutritional benefit for water leaf is that it is rich in vitamin C and E and omega-3 fatty acid. It's also rich in calcium, magnesium, and potassium. So you can see that you don't need too much of this. If you eat too much of all of these things, too much of everything is bad. So you don't want to take it too high. I know omega-3 fatty acid cannot be too much, but we need it still in moderation. So you can see in the publication I sent to you where you can search for the information if you want to read more about that. Now for bitter leaf, the nutritional benefit is that it is high in protein, fiber, and minerals like manganese, zinc, calcium, and iron. Those are the direct benefits from bitter leaf. Now we're going to see the medicinal part of bitter leaf in a few seconds. Let's see chaya. Chaya is another name. That's the name the Mexicans call the hospital too far. It's called chaya. Another name for chaya is Foya no Paja in Yoruba. In Igbo, it is called Ugu Oyibo. And then some people call it Catholic vegetables, and some call it miracle vegetables as well. The number 4 vegetable that we added to this pot is scent leaf, which in Yoruba is called efirin. I don't know what it's called in other languages, but it's a scent leaf. It's a form of basil. And it's very good, not only in the fragrance or the aroma that it adds to food, but it's also rich in calcium. It is rich in magnesium, and it has some other essential minerals, which are not detailed here. So I need to read what the chaya or hospital tufa contains nutritionally. It says this is very high in protein, just like the water leaf. And then it also has calcium, iron, vitamins A and C are present in chaya. Now, that is the hospital tufa. So the citations are added there. So in case you want to read more about each of those, that you can easily just log in online and search for them using those citations. Now let's look at the medicinal aspect for water leaf. So water leaf, as a vegetable, provides essential vitamins, which you already alluded to above. And then it also has minerals that enhance the eye health. The eye health is very, very important. I believe it must be because it contains some vitamin A, which is used in the visual purple. Also, it's used, the medicinal aspect of water leaf is that it can be used to prevent infections. It is rich in antioxidants, which are categorized as tannins, alkaloids, saponin, flavonoids, and all of this. Some of these are what they call the polyphenols, which are very, very good antioxidants. That is, they are good to reduce stress, the effects of stress in our body and against cancer as well. Water leaf has been found to also be very useful in weight loss due to the high fiber content, and it's also used to treat various diseases, which are not highlighted here. I'm sure we can find out more from the citation. Bitter leaf, the medicinal benefit, is it contains some alkaloids, flavonoids, and other products, pretty much polyphenols, which are very good antioxidants. Another beautiful thing about bitter leaf is actually it is good for malaria. For people who don't know, when people have malaria, the best thing you can give to them is to give them bitter leaf, either as vegetables or cooked with meals. First of all, many people, when they have malaria, they have changed taste perception. They say, oh, their mouth tastes bitter. Some of them can't even taste anything. They can't smell anything once they have malaria. But bitter leaf has been found to be very beneficial in killing the malaria parasite, which is Plasmodium in the bloodstream. Bitter leaf also has been found to have properties that not just combat malaria, also reduces blood sugar. It's also helpful in weight management. It is anti-inflammation, that is, it prevents inflammatory process. And also, like I said before, it's hypoglycemic. It will take your blood sugar too far if you eat too much of it with any other medication. So, known for relieving stomach aches, it also, we're already talking about combating malaria and protecting against cancer. One thing that I mentioned earlier in passing was the presence of the cyanogenic glycoside, which is the compound in bitter leaf as well as in hospital tufa. This can easily be broken down with heat. And so that's why we benefit from them by cooking the vegetable before we eat them. So this will not be a very good vegetable to eat on a regular basis as part of your smoothie or as part of your fresh salad.
Mm.
So be very careful if you want to choose some of this as part of your salad. So let's go to hospital tufa. Well, before I leave the bitter leaf, we've talked about this on the Medical Mondays in the past, Brother Mike mentioned the presence of amygdalin. You know the botanical name for bitter leaf is Vernonia amygdalina. So amygdalin is present within the leaf extract. Believe it or not, research has proved it that the amygdalin is very good in rejuvenating pancreas. The beta cells of the islets of Langerhans, for those who don't know, don't worry, it's just the cells that produce insulin in the pancreas can truly be rejuvenated by the use of bitter leaf because it contains the amygdalin, which is part of the name, the botanical name of the bitter leaf. So it's a very important leaf. Can you imagine you growing this in your backyard? If you grow this in your backyard, can you imagine the amount of benefits you are keeping? If you knew it, you benefit from it.
Look at my bitter leaf over there.
Yes, so I can see. So bitter leaf is also been found to protect us against cancer formation. We are basically with the antioxidant present, all the polyphenols, antioxidants. All right, let's go to the number 3 vegetable, which is hospital tufa vegetable. This also, we said, contains some vitamins, but specifically, they've been found to contain vitamin A, B1, and B12. We've talked about the importance of vitamin B12 earlier, as well as folate. And then, of course, those other ingredients that are essential for good health. Chaya also, just like bitter leaf, the only advantage of chaya over bitter leaf in this case is chaya doesn't have a taste. It's tasteless, doesn't have bitter taste. So if you want to prefer something that is anti-malaria, to bitter leaf, you can choose hospital tufa. But always remember, boil it, make a tea of it if possible. Don't just chew it raw. Those who will want to blend it and make it into smoothie, I will advise against that. That will be my advice. So anti-malaria property of chaya is very, very important. It is also antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal, and also contributes to other medicinal benefits, which I don't want to go into because some of them are not documented in the literature. They may be anecdotes, but they may necessarily be very important as well. The fourth leaf, the fourth vegetable is the scent leaf. This one is said to also possess antibacterial properties, particularly against various bacteria like Staphylococcus aureus, Salmonella, for those people who always talk about having a typhoid in Nigeria. If they know about this, the benefits of scent leaf in actually preventing typhoid, they would see it as a very big blessing. Many people actually, scent leaf grows wild. You don't even have to plant it, but you may choose to cultivate it, but you can find it in the wild. It has also been found in folk medicine to treat respiratory tract infection, diarrhea, and headaches. So this is all that I have for us for today's presentation as regards the medicinal as well as nutritional benefits of the vegetables that we cooked tonight.
Thank you so much.
Take another look at this preciousness here. Your malicious vegetable. Some people may want to join us, but
they are too far.
If you have a private jet, you are free to join us tonight. This one is Dr. O's house too far.
So
vegetable. So thank you all for your patience and for your understanding.
Dr. Ogunleye said she grows it, that's bitter leaf, and she eats 1 to 2 leaves raw early in the morning before breakfast when she feels one kind. Isn't that a blessing? She lives in California. Advantage of living over there and being able to, really plant. There's a question here, Dr. Ajagbe, that is there a reason why you did not use garlic?
Oh, it's just, there was no deliberate reason why we didn't use garlic. The complete seasoning contains some, but it was just an oversight. But you could always add that. Yeah, the garlic, it could just add a little bit more kick to the whole thing, but it doesn't stop the flavor of what you have in this pot. You can take a look again, because this thing, garlic or no garlic, this is looking good. The game is on here, man. This is looking good. But actually, yes, you could add garlic. You could add anything else you want to add to it. Maybe on another occasion we might just do this. If you see that melon,
There's no comparison.
we could have done some kind of melon, preparation. But I know that many people don't know the value of the pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds could actually be used as your egusi with greater nutritional benefits. I mean, that's one major source for selenium if you are lacking selenium. And if you're using selenium, you must use, there's another zinc. So zinc and selenium must go together. If you just use selenium, you're not going to get the full benefit of it. Just like in this pot, the little bit of turmeric and black pepper that is within the complete seasoning will work better because you can absorb the turmeric better with a pinch of black pepper. So these are some of the things that we need to bear in mind. We can always add any seasoning that we want to this this type of a dish.
So I have this that says a Nigerian Lagos-based doctor once told one of our participants that she treats constipation with water leaf rather than medication.
Absolutely.
She added that her patients return with positive results.
Yes. These vegetables, 3 of them, Hospital Too Far is the biggest for relieving constipation. Anyone who has stubborn constipation, I can assure you, there is no way you can dodge it. If you can eat Hospital Too Far as part of your meal, you will have an open bowel. Another thing you can use is moringa leaf. I can tell you, I don't care how constipated you are. In fact, let's say they've been doing enema, pumping water, and nothing is happening. If you would religiously just take moringa leaf powder, take 1 tablespoon, mix it with yogurt, mix it with anything, I can assure you, you will go. In fact, you'll be begging the toilet to wait to give you a break, But the truth is this, yes, these plant-based sources are very potent, very, very potent. That's why we need to be very careful when we use them. We don't want to use too much of them. Say somebody say, well, I've been constipated. You combine moringa tea with Hospital Too Far vegetable. Now, I'll have you, they look for. It's going to be too much of movement of your bowel. One good thing about Hospital Too Far I need to emphasize is this. Hospital Too Far will correct rectal prolapse. So those who say they have jedi or whatever they call it in Yoruba, that is seen that they have a rectal prolapse and it's hanging out. If you eat hospital too far for at least 1 week, that thing will disappear. Will go back where it's supposed to be. It will stay there. So vegetable.
Dr. Ajagbe,
Yes, sir.
Can we broaden the point you have just brought out about hemorrhoids and prolapse?
Yes, sir.
Let's deal with a number of vegetables that can do the same thing so that our people may benefit from it.
Absolutely.
Kindly go ahead, sir. Yes, sir.
Bitter leaf will do the same thing about prolapse and hemorrhoids. Bohevia diffusa. I don't know whether they know the plant.
When you say the name, we'll check it out.
Bohevia.
Okay.
Bohevia diffusa. Etikpaola.
Okay.
Bohevia diffusa.
All right, Emma Soyokulo.
Yeah, that one will do the same thing. In fact, it will do so many other things. Just give them the name and they will research on it.
Yeah, please send the name to the chat so we can see it.
BOEHAA. Sorry, BOERHAA. VIA, Bohevia.
Okay.
Diffusa, DIFFUSA. Etikpaola is the Yoruba name.
Dr. Oz.
Okay, so yes.
Now it's a wild vegetable, but Yorubas eat it a lot. Very versatile in healing.
Okay. Yeah, they have a lot of it online as pills or capsules, but they are using the roots.
No, the root is like carrot. The root is like carrot and it's very powerful.
So
but the leaf is also very, very important.
Absolutely, sir. Okay, can you go ahead, sir?
Another one is Bidens spilosa.
Dr. O is talking on mute.
Bidens.
Dr. O is
Bidens spilosa.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was muted. I was saying that it was just shown on the screen. Kindly show it again on the screen. Not you, Dr. Ajagbe. It was shown by Dr. Ajay.
I can switch
the screen. Okay. Go ahead, sir. There we go.
Bidens spilosa.
This is the sharing again. Bohevia diffusa.
Bohevia diffusa.
Bohevia diffusa. Okay. That's what it looks like. Thank you. Go ahead, sir.
Now, Bidens spilosa will do the same thing, but that one particularly is good for eye problems because of extensive vitamin A. Bidens spilosa. Abere oloko.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
It's also a wild vegetable, and Yorubas eat it very well.
Isn't it also good for the alopecia?
Yes, it is.
Abere oloko is also good for alopecia.
Yeah, that's true. And then it's good for viral, bacterial, and fungal diseases.
Very good. So these ones that you have just mentioned, they are good for hemorrhoids.
Hemorrhoids.
And rectal prolapse. Okay, very good. But out of the four that we did tonight, we have water leaf, we have Hospital Too Far, and we have Bitter Leaf that are incredible. They will do the same thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm saying that just to let people know that even though we may not find Abere Oloko in the US, but at least we have, you know, Bitter Leaf. We can find Hospital Too Far. Actually, you can find Hospital Too Far on eBay. The first time I got it on eBay before I requested for it from Nigeria. But it comes from from Mexico. I think it comes from Mexico or Brazil. But the chaya is originally from Mexico. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Dr. Okpeyemi said, Dr. Okpeyemi, right now, you know, chatting from London, said it is interesting to be meeting Professor Ajagbe in the kitchen this time.
He's always a man in the kitchen.
Yeah, no, see, Dr. Kweyemi does not know that about him. That's why he said, your all-round contributions to healthy living have been fantastic and challenging. Thank you, sir. This is fantastic. So she is challenged to, you know, follow suit. I love it.
Thank you very much, Dr. Adewale. Just to chime a little bit about him, you know, we're actually connected on Medical Mondays. Yeah. And we actually ended up, he volunteered to be part of a medical mission that we did during the COVID in Ogbomoso. And it was one of the biggest medical missions I've been part of. Amazing. He traveled all the way from Obafemi Awolowo University in Ife to Ogbomoso to be part of this. Thank you so much for doing that, Dr. Adewale.
Thank you for all you do, Dr. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. And he has been a speaker on Medical Mondays, a great contributor, was part of the Health Matters one when we first did it. Thank you. God bless you. And all the way from Nigeria or London, either, you know. Sister Lola says, bitter leaves also helps lower your cholesterol level.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Cool. Okay.
And therefore blood pressure.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So there are lots of thank yous. Thank you, Dr. Ajagbe. Question about what is Hospital Too Far? I think the question was answered before Dr. Ajagbe was asked. Hospital Too Far is also called chaya leaves, I understand. Is that?
Mm-hmm. It's called chaya. That's the Mexican name for it. It is called Ugu Oyibo by the Igbos, and it's called Iyanokpaja in Yoruba. I don't remember the Hausa name for it, but also it is the same one that they call Catholic vegetable. So if you ever heard about Catholic vegetable, that's what they're talking about.
Fantastic. Ooh, this was fantastic. I think we should do this again. And, you know, maybe with something different, with more protein for our protein eaters. Yeah, we love protein. We like protein.
But there's protein, no, there's protein in another.
We should do a recipe purely for preventing and healing cancer.
Yes.
Soup.
That would be fantastic, sir. We'll liaise with you on that. Auntie Fumi is our director, our coordinator. She will get us together to do it, sir.
Good.
So Brother Mike.
Hello.
Is that what we are calling Asije?
Correct.
That's Asije you are talking about now. Mm-hmm.
So, question: does anyone know about neem leaf or plant? You're asking in the right forum.
Yes.
Manu, sir, neem leaf or plant?
I have it in.
Neem is dongoyaro.
Yes.
We know dongoyaro.
That's
Very
neem now.
They used to give it to us when we were younger. They used to cook
It
it.
is primarily used in Africa for malaria.
Yeah.
But it is packed with so much nutrients as well as medicinal property.
I use it in teaching rural farmers to make their pesticide from it. Pesticide.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh. And Dr. Gulaye said neem got her through COVID.
Ah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Dongoyaro.
Very, very powerful.
Dongoyaro is an antiplasmodic, just like bitter leaf and chai.
It contains one complex compound, azadirachtin. That does the work.
So I'm reading this that she's in talks and just got some. You in Turkey? Well, Dr. Alu asked, what are the benefits of Lipton tea? Lipton tea.
A powerful antioxidant.
Wow.
Very, very powerful.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Well,
it contains in any way.
If I may quickly just add a little to that, sir. Lipton is a brand, but they have all kinds of teas.
Yeah, the tea plant.
So if you are thinking about black tea, is made by Lipton, green tea made by Lipton. They have white tea made by Lipton. They have they have Rubio, which is basically, I mean, they have the one that is Rosa de Jamaica, which is basically hibiscus. So any of those teas will just be made by that brand. It just means it's not all of the tea that are the same. They have different ones. They even make chamomile tea. So if you're asking about Lipton tea, you have to know exactly which tea are you talking about.
It's true. Lipton is a brand. You're right about that. And they make green tea. Their green tea is good too. So talking about dongoyaro, neem, I'm reading here that a lot of people use that for COVID in Ghana. You boil and cover yourself with blanket and inhale it. You know, so neem is very, 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 very medicinal.
Absolutely. Look, neem is been found to be very medicinal in many ways. One other way is alopecia. It's interesting.
Again?
Those who lose their hair, extracts from neem has been found to be useful.
How? By drinking it or putting it on the head?
I guess you can do it, whatever you eat.
It's by drinking it.
If you are drinking it and then you are applying it topically, I think you are doing double, which is okay. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You can add it to your oil. You can make an infusion oil with neem powder.
Oh, I see. Okay. Sister Lola said neem is very good for treating diabetes also. Is that correct?
Yes.
Oh, wow. So we have all this wealth.
Exactly.
And that is why tonight is so important. However, I think it needs to be taken further. Commercializing it for people who can do this, package it better, and do better job advertising the usefulness of these things.
Dr.
Gulaye just wrote here that neem oil can be applied on the scalp, just like you said.
Yes.
That's something that can be sold
in the market for this. So all you need to do is search for it. You'll find it. Even our own bitter leaf that people are, just pushing aside in Africa, they're already making capsules of it here.
Yes.
They're selling them at high price. Brother Mike has his own products, which are very potent as well. So we need to be aware of what is available. These are all available. I can tell you that.
Fantastic. Thank you so very much. Do we have any other questions, Dr. I'm sorry, Attorney Richard Williams wrote very refreshing information, very refreshing and informative presentation. Thank you, Dr. Ajagbe. Oh, I'm seeing something here that there are also capsules of Ewedu. What are the benefits?
Well, that's going into cancer and everything.
It's going into what, sir?
Cancer.
Ewedu, sir?
Yes, very, very.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so why would anybody want to buy a Ewedu capsule? Because it is actually, for my advice in that kind of situation is this: push the envelope as far as you can. When you go to African store, you can buy the frozen Ewedu jute leaf. If you don't like to eat it by itself, I can assure you if you blended it with okra, you wouldn't want to eat Ewedu alone anymore because the drawing is incredible. I mean, they stay cohesive. I generally don't like to eat Ewedu by itself. I like to eat Ewedu blended with okra, fresh okra, and it's always very beautiful. Not only in the tasting, but the combined benefits of the two vegetables. Incredible. So if you must eat Ewedu, yes, you can actually, that's one leaf that you can actually blend and eat raw. You can blend it and drink it raw. Although many people will not want to do that because like, how can you eat Ewedu raw? But actually it is, you can add it to smoothie. It will be a little slimy, but it is very good.
So neem oil, going back to neem oil, our pharmacist here says neem oil, neem capsules, and neem tea are also readily available.
Yep.
So
neem oil is very good for many skin diseases.
Dongoyaro oil.
Yes.
Wow.
It doesn't have oil of its own. You have to do dongoyaro infusion oil. So for instance, if you know you want to use olive oil, you add a measure of the neem powder into the oil, and you must leave it over a long period of time. For most people, you might have to leave it for about almost 3 months to get the real effect. Then what you do is occasionally you just mix it together. You don't want the powder to settle to the bottom and the oil to be at the top. Occasionally you just mix them, not shaking, but just kind of rotating the bottle so that the powder will mix with the oil. And that's how you're going to leave it for a long time. Now, if you don't want to do that, you can do double heating over the range. What that means is this: you get a pot of water, you put another container inside the pot of water. While the water is boiling, you add the oil to the container inside the hot water, and then you add your powder to it and leave it for maybe 1 or 2 hours, and you can get the same kind of effect. But most people believe that when you do the double boiling type, you may not get the same effect. But I think that's the fastest way to get the infusion of the neem into your oil.
That's the faster way. Dr. Ajagbe?
Yes.
That is the faster way, but there's also the fastest way. You can put a frying pan on low heat, put the oil there, and when it begins to simmer, you spread the powder evenly on top of the oil. You don't allow the oil to boil. It must always be simmering. And you do it for 30 minutes to 45 minutes. Then you sieve it, strain it. What comes out as the filtrate is the ointment at once.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah,
fast.
but when you are doing that, sir, you have
Look at this. Look at this on the screen.
When you do that, sir, the best thing is to use the cast iron skillet.
Well, that's
the one that we used to call ikokori, the ikokori that we use it's called the cast iron.
You shouldn't stir it. If you stir it, it will roast. You just leave it like that, and then the thing will soak gradually into the oil. The ingredients will be extracted by the oil.
So cast iron will not be a good idea because that
It
one
should be
requires a lot
flat.
of heat. Yes.
No. The one I'm talking about here is usually very heavy. It's made of wrought iron, and the heat is generally evenly distributed.
Yeah, that's true.
So it does not have Teflon, doesn't have any coating in the metal. So for apothecary, that's what you would do. You don't just do any kind of container to do that kind of infusion. You have to use straight wrought iron or clay pot if you have a clay pot. But that's the only way you can get even heat without getting it to boil.
Thank you. So they said there's fresh ewedu, and that's jute leaf.
Ewedu is jute leaf?
Yes, sir. There's fresh ewedu. I'm saying in English is jute leaf.
Yeah.
From June to September in DC market, DC farmers market. Our sister here buys it by box, freezes it to last till the following year. And our sister Felicia Bafemi says she grows ewedu in her backyard in Texas, and it produces enough for them to eat year round. So what part of Texas are you in? What part?
I live in Arlington, Texas.
Arlington. Okay, because I'm coming to Texas, is why I'm asking you.
Don't worry. When you come,
we give you some seeds.
Because already I'm thinking of me getting some. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sister.
I'll get it for you.
Oh, thank you.
I'll call you when it comes out in July.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Because ewedu is very important. And Dr. Ajagbe just gave us that idea of blending it with okra, fresh okra. That should be really tasty. Dr. Ogunleye said infusing yourself is better because a lot of the essential oils on the market have so much carrier oils that the ratio of essential oil to essential oil is so minute that you won't even get the benefit. And that is true. So doing it yourself, you know that you have the real thing, you know, to use.
Sorry, I meant the ratio of essential to carrier.
So carrier. So I was thinking, okay, the ratio of essential oil to carrier will be so minute that you won't get the benefit. So infusing oneself is better. Dr. V says, fantastic, thanks. And Dr. Alu says, thanks a lot, Dr. Ajagbe, and the entire team for this special edition with many medical insights. Yes, I said thank you. He's opening that F4 again. Can you imagine? I can smell it, I can't taste it. Can you imagine? This Dr. Ajagbe, that is not too kind. Anyways.
Say if you want, we are here. We can bring you some.
So before I yield back to you, I'd like to share something because this has become my family. You are my family. And when things happen, I like to share. I always share with you. So the Nigerian American Lawyers Association in Maryland, guess what? They have their annual gala every year. And this year, they've decided to give me an award. So I wanted to share with you that I was really, I'm really honored. It wasn't expected. And I felt to share with our Medical Mondays family. And Dr. Ajay, if you please assist in posting that. If you're able to make it, that would be fantastic. So we can make it a time together. They have also sponsorships if you like to sponsor. For more information, the number of Attorney Bola Babafemi is posted there to call, and the website is there. But I just felt I needed to share with my family. I've been debating it. Should I share? Should I share? Should I share? I said, yes, I'm going to share. So if you know any NALA member, Nigerian American Lawyers Association members, thank them on my behalf. But I decided to send my African gele picture. Did you see that? See, I'm so totally African. God help me. Thank you so much. Thank you for the congratulations. Thank you, Dr. Ajay.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So I'll share that again another time before the time. But please, let's come and support and, appreciate our lawyers in the area. Yeah, this is their sponsorship package. And the tickets are up there. You can take a screenshot. Thank you for posting. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So do we have any other questions? Thank you. Jazz Rufus on the internet too. So do you have any other questions? If not, Dr. Ajagbe, before I, yield to you, I want to ask our own pharmacist, Mrs. Susan Fumi Osifade, to give us a closing remarks and encouragement, and then I'll yield to Dr. Ajagbe.
Thank you very much, Dr. O. It's been a very pleasurable night, full of fun and good taste and benefits on health issues. And I'm sure a lot of us will practice what we have seen tonight. I said I was supposed to have said this, that we are grateful to God and to Dr. O. He says, how beautiful are the feet of messengers who bring good news. We have brought you a lot of good news regarding your health tonight. And good news are still continuing because we have Dr. O, a medical practitioner, being invited by the lawyers. She's also a commissioner in Maryland. I was there. So I pray that the time will be right for me so I can be there at your recognition as well as by the Nigerian American lawyers. So thank you very much, Dr. O, and I hope and pray that we all gained a lot from what we have all discussed and seen tonight, and that we'll take care of our health. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
And thank you so much, ma. Thank you, ma. Dr. Ajagbe.
Thank you all for coming to experiment with us. And we have so much prepared. We wish all of you could be here at the same time, but hey, just to recap, we have been blessed. There is no way we can say it that we lack anything that pertains to life and godliness. Everything that we need has been given to us. It's only like becoming aware of them that we can use them efficiently and wisely. And by comparing notes and by challenging one another, we can begin to really use what we have, not coveting what we don't have. Because part of the problems we're facing in Africa is that we are constantly looking out to look for help when we have everything that can actually sustain life, not just eking out living, but to live well. Can you imagine if you have in your backyard, you have a neem, a big tree, forming shape, leaves there. You have bitter leaf, you have jute leaf, you have hospital too far, all in your own yard. Mango leaf is there, guava leaf is there. All of this soursop is there. Everything we need, we have. Why can't we just use them? And that is the focus of what we are doing tonight. That let's not constantly look out. Let's look within. What do we have? What do we have that God has blessed us with that we should not be putting aside and say, this one is not good. And then we only want the ones that we cannot afford. Can you imagine how many people who have blood sugar issue in Africa? And they are constantly saying they don't have money for medicine. They don't have money to buy medicine. They don't have money to buy medicine. When they have 4 hypoglycemics growing in their backyard, what is the problem here? It's just that they don't know what it is. They don't know that it's useful for them. Almost every bitter leaf, every bitter plant that we have is hypoglycemic. I can guarantee that. Neem, we said, is hypoglycemic. Bitter leaf is hypoglycemic. Water leaf is hypoglycemic. Chaya is hypoglycemic. Even scent leaf is hypoglycemic. So what is our problem? There should be no more mention of diabetes in Africa if we truly want to benefit from what we have. But anyway, for those who are not here, I'm still going to smell this again. Maybe next time we can do it in a bigger place so everybody can taste out of whatever we are going to make. But tonight, it's been a very great pleasure to be part of this and to share the evening with you and to say that we can truly do it. We can cook any way we want, but we can still get the nutritional and medicinal benefits from whatever we cook. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ajagbe. Here it says, thank you, Dr. Ajagbe. You are always willing to share knowledge. God bless you.
Thank you all.
Thank you. We appreciate you all. Thank you. This has been awesome. I'm looking forward to when, you'll be the, cooking to prevent cancer. I love it. Yes, sir. We will package the rest of the food. Anthony Williams said, please package the leftover food and ship it. You can do that.
Great.